Dark Souls 3 is going to be 10 years old next year. A constant reminder that time keeps on slipping into the future. And you know what? Even though Dark Souls 3 is getting old, the game never gets, old. Okay, look, in this series, I'll be reading item descriptions as I go through Dark Souls 3. If you find yourself enjoying the video, be sure to subscribe, and let's begin. Welcome to Dark Souls 3 item description run. I got a little surprise for you, but you'll have to wait till we're in game to see it. But trust me, it's gonna make things more interesting. First off, we need a name. Got that on lock. Jim Scary. What class? Okay, so my build, this is probably the best thing I can do. Yeah, this seems like the exact thing I'm looking for. 11 luck and 16 strength. So I'm going to be doing like a strength build with some luck involved. I'm going to be going for the spiked mace. And the good thing about the spiked mace, you can actually get it pretty early, but you're going to have to grind for it unless you get lucky and it drops. It drops from the big old lady that casts like, I don't know, some kind of weird spells. And she holds the giant mace. So they're in the undead settlement. So that's what we're going to be farming. So let's pick the warrior class. Look how pissed he is. This is perfect. He looks really upset. All right, I think our work here is done. Well, shall we get into the game? We'll do some item reads to get things started. Let's begin. Okay, so you may have noticed a little something different if you're familiar with this game. We're in first person right now. Now, I'm going to say right off the bat, we're not going to always be in first person. There's a few problems with this mod. Number one, you can't lock on. That's a big problem. And I would like to use a crossbow later on in the game, just to have a crossbow, so we'll definitely be switching, which we can switch on the fly. I'm in offline mode because, well, I don't want FromSoft, just in case I want to play multiplayer with somebody one day, I don't want to piss off FromSoft. So we're in offline mode, like right from the start when I log in on the game. So yeah, let's get some item reads going, shall we? So first up we have Estus Flask. The undead treasure these dull green flasks. Fill with Estus at bonfires and drink to restore HP. The journey of an undead has always traced the bonfires, and no journey of import has been made without an Estus flask. Dark Sign. The Dark Sign is the sign of an accursed undead. The Dark Sign returns its bearer to the last bonfire rested at, or the bonfire at Firelink Shrine, but at the cost of all souls held. The carriers of the Dark Sign are reborn after death, and eventually lose their minds, turning hollow. And so it is, they are driven from their homelands. Now we have Soul of a Nameless Soldier. Soul found in the corpse of a nameless soldier. Black Separation Crystal. A charm of farewell granted to banished undead. The crystal sends phantoms back to their homes, or you back to yours. Beware of fickle use of this item if you intend to nurture relations. Way of White Circlet. Online play item. Restore the connection to other worlds. Those who engage in unjust deeds when in contact with other worlds will lose their connection to them. Way of White Circlets assume such sin as their own, but are found few and far between. Acting without honor will never be without risk. Now we have Battle Axe, the starting weapon for our class. Easily wielded axe crafted for battle and inflicting standard damage. Its weight can be used to inflict high damage, but must be used carefully as it leaves its wielder open to retaliation. Skill, Warcry. Let out a spirited warcry that temporarily boosts attack. Round Shield. Standard round wooden shield. Wooden shields are light, manageable, and offer relatively high magic absorption. Skill, Parry. Repel an attack at the right time to follow up with a critical hit. Works while equipped in either hand. Northern Helm. Iron helm of a stalwart northern warrior, engraved with an ornate pattern. Iron defensive wear grants superior stability. Being from the north, it should also offer resistance to the cold. Ashen Estus Flask. Undead treasure these dull ashen flasks. Fill with Estus at bonfires and drink to restore FP. Quite befitting of an unkindled, an Ashen Estus Flask turns a bonfire's heat cold. Cleric Sacred Chime. Sacred chime for casting miracles of the gods. Chimes such as these are often given to clerics who become undead. Equip a talisman or a sacred chime to cast miracles. Sorry, I was distracted by that arrow noise I'm hearing. Miracles must be attuned at a bonfire before use. Skill, Gentle Prayer. And they found me. All right, creature. I've returned. Who needs lock on anyway? I fought this thing before, if you can't tell. I've fought this thing many times. I used to get my ass beat by it, and then I was like, hey, it's a nice start of Souls. Okay, we're biting me. It's not very nice. You want to go, bud? Let's finish it off in first person. First person? Coming to get you. Yeah, one thing I don't like about the first person is like when you get up close to the enemy, it's like you can't see. I don't feel like it's very exciting to watch. That's why I think first person isn't going to be like a constant thing. Titanite scale. Titanite altered by a soul. Reinforces soul transposed weapons to +4. Weapons forged by soul transposition can only be reinforced by Titanite of the same kind. In rare cases, crystal lizards devour souls, growing to monstrous proportion and leaving these great scales. Yeah, I believe we've met one. All right, we're moving on in. Oh, also, check this out. This is funny. We don't have a head. Funny little thing about this mod. Yeah, first person's going to be nice for moments like these. Just look at the scale of everything. It really just changes like how big everything looks. And of course, if you do this, you can still see some pretty massive scale, but it's just not the same as seeing it in first person. Like there's Firelink Shrine way over there. It's much easier to just drop on them from above. Goodbye. Firebomb. Bisque urn filled with black powder. Explodes, inflicting fire damage. Fire damage, which differs from physical damage, is highly effective against creatures of flesh, beasts, and other foes that might naturally have cause to fear the flame. Alright, time for a little jump. Titanite Shard. We shall read. Titanite Shard. Titanite Shard for weapon reinforcement. Reinforces weapons to +3. Titanite shards are fragments of the legendary slabs. Titanite is etched into weapons to reinforce. Alright. Well, let's fight him. He's a fairly easy boss. He definitely is there to teach you how things are going to be. But once you're used to him, he's not bad. See, he like hit me twice, but it really didn't do that much damage. He missed me, which is pretty funny. Alright, I messed that up. Okay, so when he does this, just throw fire bombs. So you don't have to get close. That's why you don't want to get close. I'm just going to heal up all the way. Yeah, deceptive range. Come on, Iudex. I used to think it was Iudex. Okay, I might die because I'm kind of dumb. There we go. Yeah, sorry. My bad. We beat him, though. Air of Fire destroyed. And we got a new item. Coiled Sword. Sword missing from the shrine bonfire. Cannot be equipped as a weapon. Thrust into the shrine bonfire to restore its power and enable travel between bonfires. This sword is only bequeathed to chosen Ash, as judged by the Iudex, who awaits the arrival of Ash as a scabbard. This game overall is a lot more bleak and depressing than the other Dark Souls games. And of course they all have depressing elements, but just the overall mood, it's a bit much at times. Broken Straight Sword. A straight sword with a broken blade. A weapon with no exceptional qualities. Only a mad hollow would choose to fight with this. Skill Stance. While in stance, use normal attack to break a foe's guard from below, and strong attack to slash upwards with a forward lunge. Only, neither move will appear very impressive with a broken sword. Tell that to Zero Linny. I see a dog. Goodbye. Oh, okay, alright, nothing personal, kid. He just nothing personal kidded me. Get out of here. There we go. Ah, an ember. No unkindled can ever truly claim the embers that burn within a champion's bosom, which is precisely what makes their yearning for warmth so keen. Gain the strength of flame and increased max HP until death. With the strength of fire, the summoning signs of unkindled become visible, and seekers of embers can be summoned to join in cooperation. But beware, the embers may also attract invaders. Homeward Bone. Bone fragment reduced to white ash. Return to last bonfire used for resting or to the shrine bonfire. Bonfires are sustained by bones of the undead. In rare cases, their previous owner's strong urge to seek bonfires enchants their bones with a homeward instinct. And here we are at Firelink Shrine. There goes the coiled sword. We definitely have some items to read here. This is our first merchant. They sell a lot of things, so we got a lot of reading to do. Repair powder. Lightly enchanted golden powder. Repairs equipped weapons and armor, as long as they haven't already broken. Use of a weapon depletes its durability, eventually causing it to break. As long as the weapon is not broken, its durability can be restored at a bonfire. But for distant journeys, one may wish to prepare ahead. Purple moss clump. Medicinal purple moss clump. Reduces poison buildup, cures poison. Poison builds up in the body, and when it breaks out, it causes gradual damage over a period of time. Poison can be exasperating, so be sure to carry sufficient moss clumps when traveling to a blighted area. Prism stone. Warm pebble emitting a beautiful phasing aura of 7 colors with a very rare 8th. The prism stone does nothing special but can serve as a path marker, or perhaps dropped off a cliff to judge height by the sound of its descent. If a loud noise is heard upon its landing, then a fall from the ledge is surely lethal. White sign soapstone. Online play item. Create a co-op summon sign. Be summoned to another world as a phantom through your sign, and defeat the area boss to gain the strength of flame. The nature of Lothric is murky, unclear. The white sign soapstone allows unkindled to assist one another. Dried finger. Online play item. Dried finger with multiple knuckles. Used to strengthen connection to other worlds, allowing the summoning of a third phantom, but also a second dark spirit. Also makes the summoning of a dark spirit occur earlier. Use with caution. Tower key. Key to the decrepit tower behind Firelink Shrine, which leads to the bell tower. The bell tower is the grave of Firekeeper's past. When the Firekeeper has served her purpose, she's led to true darkness, where she enjoys a long-deserved sleep. Soul arrow. Elementary sorcery. Fires a soul arrow. To use sorceries, equip a staff and attune a sorcery at a bonfire. Baron dart. Variation of soul arrow developed by sorcerers of the undead legion of Baron. Fire a soul dart. Well known among the Farron sorceries, it is learned far and wide due to its ease of use. I see that, even I can use it. And I have 8 intelligence. Heal aid. Miracle imparted as charity to those of little faith. A show of tolerance from the way of white. Slightly restores HP. To use miracles, equip a talisman or sacred chime and attune a miracle at a bonfire. Dagger. Standard small dagger. Small daggers lack power or reach, but can deal quick consecutive hits due to their light weight. Highly effective when used for critical hits, such as after parrying or attacking from behind. Skill, Quick Step. Instantly steps behind or around the side of foes. Especially effective when locked onto a target. Short Sword. Small straight sword excelling in thrusting attacks. The short sword is a light and easily wielded straight sword due to its minimal attribute requirements. Scimitar. Small curved sword that excels in swift movements and consecutive attacks. The scimitar's flesh-rending slash attacks are greatly compromised against armor and tough scale-covered hides. Skill, Spin Slash. Slice into foes with a large spinning motion and follow with strong attack for a spinning vertical slash. Halberd. This long-hilted weapon mixing spear and axe is difficult to handle, requiring both strength and dexterity. Can be thrust like a spear or swept sideways like an axe, making it a versatile weapon effective against multiple foes. Skill, charge. Hold spear at waist and charge at foe. Use strong attack while charging to extend the length of the charge. Sorcerer's Staff. Staff used to cast sorceries. A common catalyst given to sorcerers of the Venheim Dragon School. Equip a catalyst to use sorceries. Sorceries must be attuned at a bonfire before use. Talisman. Talisman for casting miracles of the gods. Once a very common item among the ranks of the old way of white. Torch. A simple makeshift torch made from an oily rag wrapped around the end of a stick. Torches such as these are the easiest way to illuminate one's surroundings, but their use comes at the cost of occupying a hand that would otherwise be free. Can be used as a rudimentary weapon to inflict fire damage. It possesses no skill, being an ordinary basic tool. Leather Shield. An unorthodox round small shield covered with leather. Small shields offer little damage absorption or stability, but they are lightweight and make ideal instruments for parrying. Crimson Parma. Standard round wooden shield. It is daubed with a red paint that symbolizes the blood of warriors. Wooden shields are light, manageable, and offer relatively high magic absorption. Warrior's Round Shield. Standard round wooden shield. It bears a double-bladed axe, the mark of a warrior. Wooden shields are light, manageable, and offer relatively high magic absorption. Large leather shield. Orthodox round shield covered with leather. Medium shields are the most average of shields, providing a practical balance of damage absorption, stability, and weight. Chain Helm. Chain mail helm of thin interlinking rings of steel. Popular due to its ease of crafting, respectable damage absorption, and light weight. Knights may favor imposing armor, but for warriors on the battlefield, that which keeps them alive is armor enough. I remember that description from Dark Souls 1. That's a lot of item reading. We're going to do a little something that I like to do in my playthroughs, but if you've never played this game before, I don't recommend doing it on your first time. You can, but it definitely makes the game a bit easier in the beginning. And some of you may know what I'm doing. All right. So what you do is you go on this tree, go to the right. I messed it up already. I usually get this down pretty quick, but not that time. Sometimes it takes a little bit. All right, so you run up the tree, go to the side. I messed it up again. Excuse me while I try and get this. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we don't go. There it is. First try. This is where the fun begins. Hush, birds. Secret. Covetous silver serpent ring. But first up, Estus shard. A shard soaked in Estus. Give to the blacksmith at the shrine to increase... Are we seeing that? An S there? I'll just read it as it says. Give it to the blacksmith at the shrine to increases usage of the Estus flask. I didn't realize there was a typo there. In the old days, it was rare to see an Estus flask far from its owner, but this shard offers hope, however shattered. Covetous silver serpent ring. A silver ring depicting a snake that could have been, but never was, a dragon. Fallen foes yield more souls. Snakes are known as creatures of great avarice, devouring prey even larger than themselves, by swallowing them whole. If one's shackles are cause for discontent, perhaps it is time for some old-fashioned greed. We gotta go first person, at least for this little part. Look at this. That looks incredible. You see that building down there? That's where we want to go. So I like to run and kill this guy immediately. I don't know if I did it in time. Looks like I did. Titanite shard. Oof. That was a lucky find. Iron round shield. An orthodox round small shield made from metal. Small shields offer little damage absorption and stability, but they are lightweight and ideal for parrying. I wonder... This guy's all by himself? Well done. This guy earned himself the first person plunge. Should be like binoculars up here. Yep, we got binocs. Let's give her a read. Binoculars made of brass. Used to peer at distant scenery. Their utility is singular, but applications many. The value of these specs depends greatly on the imagination of their owner. Gold pine resin. Rare pine resin which emits golden sparks. Chunks of it are even rarer. Temporarily applies lightning to right-hand weapon. Its origins are unknown, although some have speculated that it may in fact be a type of fungal resin. Okay, these guys used to scare me a lot. And honestly, they still do. But he took some good damage there. I'm terrified. Goodbye. I feel like we do pretty good damage. Like I messed that knight up pretty good without even upgrading. So another Titanite shard. We have 3 of them. Just gonna save them. I think the fun part, I'm gonna go level up. I think the fun part is going to be farming that weapon in the next video. Throwing knife. Small throwing knife. Throw at enemies to inflict damage. Most items choose their wielder, and only experience can improve their effectiveness. True strength can be gained in no other way. What, like a wand from Harry Potter? Raw gem. A gem of infused titanite. Forged the weapons of Lothric foot soldiers. Used in infusion to create raw weapons. Raw weapons are easily wielded and have higher attack, but lose scaling effects. Undead Hunter Charm. Tool used to hunt down the undead. Blocks Estus recovery within a limited area. Used long ago by Lloyd's cleric knights on their undead hunts. Although Allfather Lloyd is long forgotten by the way of the white, his hunts have lived on, and this charm allows one to challenge undead without fear of tenacious healing. I like that change to the item description because in the originals, there's this guy, Allfather Lloyd, who would go on these hunts to kill undead, and they'd use those items to stop them from using Estus Flask. So I like that the lore mentions he's been forgotten, basically. It's kind of cool. Please stop using that stupid shield. That's what you get! Green Blossom. Green weed shaped like a flower. Temporary boost to stamina recovery speed. The Undead Legion of Farron are remembered for using this annual plant, normally found near clear water, to swing their mighty swords with abandon. Astora Straight Sword. A well-crafted sword named after the ruined land. Astora, before its fall, was a land replete with royal blood, and this weapon is both a reminder and heirloom of that era. Silver Eagle Kite Shield. Orthodox metal shield engraved with a crest depicting a silver eagle. Now this is going to be fun. And by fun, I mean I'm terrified. That did not go the way I wanted it to. Take that, Scoob. Alright, where's LeBron James? I don't know why I'm calling him that. I guess because he's tall. There's one more. Or maybe it's just a dog. Regardless, let's be on our toes. Oh no, it's both. Come here, bud. Hello? Okay. Well, I can't be mad. I can't be mad. Cell key, though. Cell key. I can be happy. Key to a cell holding thieves and the like. There is no shortage of brash thieves in Lothric, and these particular thieves likely scaled the wall from the undead settlement. But they are only willing to practice their thievery on the High Wall, for their fear of Lothric Castle, rumored to devour men, keeps them clear of its grounds. I know you're real. Oh god, I went first person on accident. Anyone else? Okay, so we have the rapier, a lightweight thrusting sword used in noble duels employing refined techniques. The primary attack of a thrusting sword is a series of stabs that render foes vulnerable for a devastating final thrust. It can also attack with shield up. Mailbreaker, a small sword made for thrusting attacks. This hard, edgeless sword can pierce through tough armor and boasts a deadly critical attack. Shield Splitter, aim carefully and attack in a large forward lunge to pierce through enemy shields and inflict damage directly. So he just gave us the blue Tearstone ring, which we're going to read, and we're supposed to give that to Loretta, who will be very happy to see us in the next video. Blue Tearstone ring, a ring set with a large rare Tearstone jewel. Temporarily boosts damage absorption when HP is low. This stone is said to be a tear of sorrow of the goddess Kaitha, and of course, tears are always more beautiful near death. Okay, FromSoftware, whatever you say. Deserter trousers. Common soldier's trousers. This musty, rusted hunk of metal befits one reduced to thievery. Ring of Sacrifice. This mystical ring was created in a sacrificial rite of Velka, the goddess of sin. Its wearer will lose nothing upon death, but the ring itself breaks. The sacrifice is only worth as much as the life it spares. Now, of course, with the introduction of Grey Rat at Firelink Shrine, we have more items. Blood Red Moss Clump. Red Moss Clump used as maggot repellent. Reduces bleeding buildup. Bleeding builds up when attacked by sharp blades or spikes, and once triggered causes severe damage. Use this moss clump before it reaches that point. Bandit's Knife. A wide single-edged short sword. Primarily a slicing weapon, but its blade is crafted to cause bleeding, making it a favorite of lowly thieves and bandits. Longsword. A balanced, widely used standard straight sword. Inflicts reliable standard damage as well as high thrust damage. That also reminds me, I didn't read the broadsword. Broadsword, a straight sword with a broad blade designed for slashing. A large sweeping attack makes this effective against crowds, but is prone to deflection from walls in a narrow space. Bastard Sword, a widely used heavy greatsword normally wielded with two hands. Broad horizontal sweeping attacks makes this sword effective against multiple enemies, but unwieldy in narrow spaces. Mace, iron hammer designed for use in battle. A common weapon for clerics. This bladeless strike weapon is effective against most foes and can break the guard of a shield. Skill, Perseverance. Assume an unfaltering stance of prayer to temporarily boost poise. Damage reduced while activated. Spear. Common short spear that allows attacking with shields up. Spear attacks are centered on thrusting, but can inflict high damage when timed with the end of an enemy's swing. Light Crossbow. Standard crossbow wielded by common soldiers. Must be readied before firing. Bolts must be equipped in order to use crossbows. Up to 2 kinds of bolts can be equipped at a time, and these can be switched between as necessary. Skill, Tackle. Lunge into a shoulder tackle, pushing back enemies to create distance. I did not know that. Buckler. A very small round metal shield. It features a large central protrusion designed for parrying attacks. Elkhorn Round Shield. Standard round wooden shield. The blue antlers are reminiscent of designs found in Mira. Mira shout out. It's kind of cool. Round shield, we know about it. Kite shield, we know about it. Standard helm. A sturdy helm made of iron. Used by warriors of old, but one can still expect sound defense. It is never unwise to wear a sturdy form of head protection against arrows and other somatic threats. Thief Mask. Mask worn by those with something to hide. Used to conceal the face, muffle the voice, and go by cover of darkness. Standard Arrow. Standard arrows used with bows. Fire Arrow. Shoot arrows with burning tips dealing fire damage. And then Standard Bolt. Standard Bolt used with crossbows. Alright, we're done for now. Let's go back to the level and finish up. Ember and a Titanite Shard. Ooh, so good. Longbow. The longbow commonly used by hunters. Arrows must be equipped in order to use bows. Yes, we know. Skill, Puncture. Pull the arrow even further back for a more powerful shot that can also pierce shields. Man, FromSoftware needs to make a first-person game. I don't know how they do it because they really like that high-speed, fast-paced action. It would definitely feel a little different than Dark Souls. Lucerne. A pole arm with a sharp, hard-pronged head that inflicts thrust attacks. The Lucerne is wielded overhand like a hammer, or can be swung from the side to break through shields. Skill, Spin Sweep. Sweep foes in a large spinning motion, and utilize momentum to transition into an overhanded strong attack smash. Small Lothric Banner. Small banner held by Lothric messengers. Hold up outside the main castle gate to be greeted by an escort. When the High Wall appeared, the path to the undead settlement was blocked, and messengers came bearing this banner. They were sent out with a duty, but had no way of returning. I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm going to beat this first try. This is a deep battle axe, I might bring that out over the strength one. Unless this boss resists dark. I'm just going to do it, I don't care. This thing has a skill, or a weapon art, whatever it's called in this game, that buffs your attack, so if the buff is substantial, it might be better than the fast swings of a broadsword. This boss isn't really that bad until you get to the midway. Whoops, I forgot to do weapon art. There we go. Some pretty good damage. Extremely good damage. Look at that. Oh, I used it twice on accident. That charged up R2 is too good. This is ridiculous. Oh my god. I'm gonna heal. There we go. It's over. Wow. Soul of Boreal Valley Vordt. Soul of Vordt of the Boreal Valley. I also don't know if Boreal is how you say that, so. One of the twisted souls steeped in strength. Used to acquire many souls, or transposed to extract its true strength. Vordt served as an outrider knight, never far from the fleeting dancer. That means that the dancer's nearby. And that's where we're ending for today. In the next video, we'll take on the undead settlement. And depending on how short that is, I might go a little further. No promises on that. But we are going to be getting our weapon for the playthrough in the next video. So that's going to take some farming. But I could get lucky and get it immediately, which would be pretty cool. We read 86 items in this video. Not bad. Not bad at all. Anyway, if you found yourself enjoying the video, be sure to subscribe. If you want to help push this out to others, be sure to like it. Comments help as well. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.